Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Delaney and I will be starting off my personal YouTube channel here. You can also follow me on my collaborative YouTube channel with sugar_and_spice_makeup with Chip. We do upload on Mondays and Thursdays, so I will be trying to upload on maybe like Wednesdays and Saturdays for this channel. My goal is to do like 2 uploads a week, but we'll see how far that gets me. But if you want to see me create this makeup look and watch me just fail and be sad, this is the video for you. If you don't want to watch me struggle, I guess exit out of the browser now. Don't even close the tab, just completely shut down your computer and throw it away. But if you guys want to see this look, we will be getting a tutorial here. It is a full face get ready with me, and I'll be answering some questions that I thought may be relevant to you being one of my featured audience members. I'll see you guys on the tutorial. Here we go. Okay guys, so we're just going to jump into the application. I'm going to call out the products as I go, and I will leave a list down below for everyone to follow along. I've already primed my face with the FARSALI SKINTUNE Blur, which kind of feels like Elmer's glue, but I'm still not mad. And my OFRA drying lotion in the shade Nude. So I use that just to cover my blemishes, so if I look a little pink tone in certain places, it's just covering up even nastier red tones underneath. So the first thing I do with my face is I start with foundation. I'm going to be using my Morphe Fluidity Full Coverage in the shade 1.30. It is in like a old Tarte container just because it's like frosted glass. Like, I'm not going to throw that away. Later on I will be using my Baumberger palette just for a quick one shade. I am going to use the mirror here. And if I look over to the right a lot, that's where my viewfinder is, so just don't at me. But I really just wanted to get into YouTube on my own. I do a collaborative channel with my friend Chip, and she's been so super supportive, but I just feel like it's time. It's time to spread my wings. It's time to do my own thing. So I just kind of start under my eyes, and I'm just using a Morphe blending sponge. I'll leave the official name down in the description. I try not to get right up next to my waterline just because it tends to cake up my concealer there. And so I just try to get right up to where like my eyes start to crease a little bit. Just to kind of give you some background information on me. I'm 27. I live in Texas near Dallas. So for any of you local people out there, hey. And if you're farther away, hey as well. I wanted to talk about what kind of got me into makeup. So about 2015, I want to say. Like, I was already using makeup since I was like in middle school, right? Because like, you know, what 90s kid didn't already do that when they were that young? I was never like looking at makeup and thinking I want to have a collection of it so big that it's embarrassing. And now I'm here. And that's not to like brag, but it's just kind of like an overconsumption. And I really need to be better about doing that. Instead of going into like an artistic realm in my life, I work at a very structural based job that doesn't really allow for creativity to blossom. And so when I get to put on makeup in the mornings before I go to work, and when I'm filming, and when I'm just putting up looks for social media, like, that's my time I get to be creative. So I really like doing that. Honestly, I have Chip to thank for getting me into makeup as much as I have, because I saw her buying, and I wanted to buy. That's where I'm at now, and I'm not ashamed of my collection at all. Like, I really enjoy it, but I need to calm down. I think that having a secondary channel is a great idea, just because it is going to give me that opportunity to use my makeup more. I mean, who doesn't want to use what they paid for, right? The things I like about makeup is that it allows you to really kind of be yourself and make mistakes. I think so much in life these days that we don't get to have times to make mistakes as adults. Everyone is like, you need to push your goals, you need to be branding, you need to get this promotion, you need to buy a house, you need to have a kid, you need to get married. Like, people put all these goals onto you, and it's just not it. It's not it. When I am playing with makeup, or when I'm focused on making a look that I really want to do well in doing, and I really want it to come out well, obviously, I just get to focus on that and be creative. Now, of course, that's not every scenario. There are times when you have to look a certain way, or if you work at, you know, like a retail job, you don't get to necessarily do the makeup that you would like to do in your free time, which, if you can already tell by my hair, like, I don't wear normal makeup every day. It's even my first look that I'm showing you guys today, it's not gonna be like an everyday natural makeup. And that's kind of what I want to focus on this channel, is just being creative and doing things that inspire me, and hopefully that can help inspire you guys too. Obviously this is my first time filming on my own, so just bear with me if I look really washed out. I'll eventually get the hang of it. I feel like I've been beating my face, and I need to move on. Everything in like regular life has been pretty stressful lately, so my face is a little broken out, but we just gonna cover it up. So normally what I go in next with my routine is concealer. I will be using my Morphe 1.15, and we're just gonna be applying that under the eyes, forehead, nose, and chin. And to blend that out, I use the Blotterazzi from Beauty Blender. I just like it better than using an actual sponge. Let's talk about the things that I want to accomplish with this channel. I obviously want to do really well. My personality type is very much like, you set a goal, you achieve that goal. So very A-type. With doing this channel, I want to set goals for myself, of course. I like setting goals that I feel that are achievable, but not so like insurmountable that I don't have a plan to get there. So when you ask me, Delaney, what do you want to do 10 years down the line? I couldn't answer that. But if you ask me, what do you want to do in 2 years? I could probably answer that. I just have always been that way. I'm just not like a huge planner when it comes to stuff like that, even though like I'm also a huge planner. Like I'm very anal about certain things. But with this channel, I want it to be like structured, but also creative and not bogged down with like worrying about hitting 3 videos a week, 5 videos a week, 30 videos a month. I do plan to upload 2 times a week if I can, but considering I do all the editing for my other collaborative channel and I take a lot of time to post on social media as far as new products I'm getting in, watching other brands, trying to collaborate with them, getting on PR lists, I want to be able to balance out on everything. So if I don't quite get 2 videos a week, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Of course, once starting out, I want to be consistent, but also I'm not going to beat myself up over not accomplishing a goal that I set for myself without knowing what it was going to be like filming on my own. Because we've been filming together for about, I should be doing my face while I'm doing this. I'm going to take the FENTY matchstick. I had just finished my first one, so it took me like 2 years, but I scooped out the rest of it and I just put it into a little compact tear down the bottom, so I'm just going to dip into that with a brush, but it is FENTY. This is in the shade Amber. So we're just going to apply that into all the contour areas of the face. But like I was saying, if I don't upload every week, like it's not going to kill me. Obviously I do want to do that, but also I have to be fair to myself that struggling with any low periods because I do have depression. I don't want to feel like bogged down trying to create and do something if I don't have the time and I have to work 50 hours a week to pay my bills and stuff. I have really been using makeup here lately as a escape, and I kind of have to pull back from that because I am fucking myself up financially by not going to work because I'm depressed, because I don't like being there. And yeah, this is getting really dark for our first video, but hi guys. Welcome to my TED Talk. I do want to have goals, obviously. I do want to grow. Ultimately, I would like to do really great things with makeup, and I would like to get into a position where I can support myself financially on YouTube. That would be dope AF. But also, if I don't make it there, I'm still having a creative outlet, which I do need personally. This is the FENTY matchstick in linen, and I just use it to kind of clean up anywhere under my contour that I don't like and hide any more blemish areas that are peeking through my foundation. I have kind of like a nasty breakout going on my nose right now, so it's taking a little bit more to cover that up, and it's making my nose come out a little bit more cakey than I would prefer. Oh, and to blend out the contour, I was using the Morphe M334. Just a nice little angle brush. It's not super dense. And then to blend out the concealing aspect, I'm going to be using the Morphe M333. It's just like a little flat brush. It is a little bit more dense. And I just use that to kind of tidy up any of my face where there's creasing, or to blend out any of those blemishes that I covered. Just so it's not like literally a whiteout on my face. Y'all tell me if I'm looking really cakey, because I'm feeling really cakey. We're done with creams. Powders. So I do a cream contour and a powder contour. I will be stepping in with my powder. Let me just go grab that. Thick thighs save lives. Am I right? Like I was saying, I'm going to be using the JEFFREE Star Cosmetics setting powder in Rose. I probably could have honestly gone with translucent instead of a pink undertone. Normally when I'm doing like my highlight areas, so my concealer or setting, I try to go with a neutral tone. But this I was like, who needs that? There is a swatch on my Instagram that shows how the powder transforms a neutral toned concealer, and it does definitely add a pink hue to it, which I think is good, but also if you were expecting it to not be so pink, it probably is going to bother you. Just applying that to all the areas that I put concealer, just to set everything, just so when I get done filming this I can wipe it right off and it's going to be a problem. Most importantly, I just try to focus it on the under eye. As you can see, I have lots of little tiny creases, and no matter what I do, what concealer I use, what powders I use, they don't go away. It's just genetic at this point. I do edit it out of my pictures just because I feel like it does distract from the colors that I have going on in my lower lash line. But on film, of course, you'll get to see all of my flaws in real time. Now I'm going to go in with powder contour. I use the Lunatic Cosmetic Labs. This is the Pro Contour Volume 1, excuse me. It just has nice neutral tones in it. It's more so for like special effects makeup, but I love a gray contour, so I'm using it. Also, like, I just love their branding so much. Like, scary. I'm sad that they don't really like release anything. I wish that they did more. To be honest, I would buy from them. I really love their formula for their powders. And to apply my powder contour, I use the Morphe M436, and I just kind of like dab in whatever shades I'm feeling. I'm gonna go into a less warm look, so I'm gonna focus less on the warm tones. Apply that to all the contour areas, so in the hollow of the cheek, up the side of the hairline, and the forehead. Oh, and the nose, obviously. And I use the same brush for all of those areas. I'm not really like a brush user. I use like the same 5 brushes for everything just because I know what I like and I'm gonna use it. I don't like to take risk in general unless they're like super calculated. Let's check out how we're looking over here. I don't look so nasty. I always feel so much nastier in person than I do like actually on the footage, so. Plus, I'll be jumping into blush next, and I'll be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon in this shade Fantastic Plastic Pink. And it's kind of like a shimmery blush, so you can kind of see, but it's super like Barbie pink, so I really like using it when I'm doing like more of a neon or bright colored look. You don't really necessarily see the sparkles as much as you see them like in the pan. Obviously when you apply a blush it's a lot different. I kind of blend it into the contour of the face and also like the apple of the cheek, just until like I'm kind of tired of seeing it on my face. Makeup's kind of weird. You want to get this flat canvas and work with that and then add color and dimension, but then for me, putting on pink blush is literally just showing my actual skin tone, but
not as nasty.
Less pepperoni pizza, if I could say. And fuck it, we're just gonna go on the nose too. Normally I reserve like a blush on the nose for like more of a red blush, but we're gonna be crazy. We're gonna go outside the box. So once those powders are done, I typically now, I didn't used to always do this. I used to do my whole face first and then finish, but I'm gonna move on to brows. Before I would do my highlight too, but I found that having my brows already done and then doing my highlight all at once, a lot easier. So to start my brows, I'm not going to do colored brows today. I'm just going to do regular schmegular degular brows. I'm going to start in with my Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks. This is the Insta Tint Brown Hair number 2, and it's basically a tinted brow gel that has microfibers in it. And I'm just kind of breaking that through. This is like my everyday brow routine, so you're not going to see anything fancy here. Then I go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, and this is in the shade Taupe. Normally my natural hair color is the color of my brows, but I like to go more taupe because it's gray versus like a warmer brown. I just like more neutral or cool tone makeup. When I'm doing my brows, I always start on the bottom and then I get my tail in line and then I'll go on the top. So just some other general information about me. I have been with my boyfriend we just celebrated our 6-year anniversary. He proposed to me in December of last year. We went to this trip to Ruidoso, New Mexico. It was beautiful, but the snow at the time kind of ruined all of our day-to-day plans, but we still had a really great time. We went with friends of ours. On the first day, like right after we got there, he proposed. I'm just not the person to really get married. Just never really believed in marriage. My parents got separated when I was a kid, and I think that really solidified that perception that I just don't believe in marriage to an extent. I definitely think relationships can work, but I think that the structure of marriage doesn't always work out. And it honestly makes it harder. People look at their significant other and they're like, you're my wife, you're my husband. It comes with these extra stipulations of what kind of roles you should have in the relationship when you're married. I wouldn't say that we're a very traditional couple. I definitely break gender norms all the time, but then I also have very like solidified ones that I don't change whatsoever. If you ask me what they were, couldn't really think of them off the top of my head right this second, but when I see it, I'm like, yeah, traditional gender role. But yeah, so we've been together a very long time. I love him to death. That doesn't mean that we haven't had hard times, obviously. I have 3 dogs, 1 cat. I have a miniature schnauzer. His name is Scotty. He's all black. He is the angriest boy. Oh my god, but he loves me to death. He loves Shelby too, but not as much. And then we have Bubbles. She's our first adopted. She is like a terrier mix. And I love dogs, so then we got a 3rd dog a year later. Her name is Hazel. She kind of looks like a Labradoodle, but she's definitely not. She has like some Australian sheepdog in her, so she has like red tones. It's really kind of weird. Now that brows are done, I'm gonna go in with highlight, and I always do like a liquid highlight underneath. So for the first one, I'm gonna be using the INC.REDIBLE You Glow Girl, and this is in Cosmic Blur. It's like a clear like duotone. It has like a purplish shift in it, and I just apply that with like this shitty brush that I got off of Wish, because it's just like a really nice big paddle brush. This is kind of like the same texture as like a lip gloss. Not sticky at all, really. It's just wet. You guys may not be able to see it, but I can definitely see it. But it's going to play very nicely with the pink blush that I have underneath. And so I just kind of take that and I apply it all over the highlights of my cheek. If you don't follow INC.REDIBLE Cosmetics, you need to go find them real quick because they have really great glosses, really great jelly eyeshadows. And then topping that, I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Supreme Frost in Money Honey. So it has like this shifting green, yellowy pink. And we're going to apply that on top. Once you see the eye look, it's all going to come together. And I'll be applying that with the Morphe M510. It's more of a fluffy brush. So what I kind of do when I'm mixing is I just hold down a little bit right here. And then I swirl around the pan. Now, of course, his Supreme Frost, you don't really need all that extra, but that's what I like to do. Next step, which is the NYX White Base, and I just apply that with a shitty like brush from Wish. Just kind of tap it all out. You can see that my eyelids are now very white. So to begin, I'm going to be finally jumping into eyeshadow, and I'll be using the Bomb Burger palette from Bombshell Cosmetica. I'm just going to be using one shade out of here just because the palette I did want to focus on in this video doesn't have the shade that I want to create that overall look, and I'm very much about the overall look instead of just sticking to one eyeshadow palette. I used to never do that, but ever since I've been filming with my other channel, that's what I do. I just use one palette for everything because it's easy for packing. So the shade I'll be using in here, and I'll put it up on screen, is this neon yellow shade. It is the shade Mustard. I'm just going to take that shade on a Morphe M412. This is like my go-to crease brush, and I'm just applying that into the crease. All of the more neon shades in the palette are probably going to stain you just in general because neons are not really approved for eyes, just in a general if it's a true neon. Now you will get very close shades that are just very bright, but they're not a technical neon because it has a different pigment base. Initially when I'm applying these shades, I'm just kind of tapping the excessive product onto the lid, but then I'm moving into a windshield wiper motion. As you can see, it's pretty pigmented. I am going to do a little bit of a cut crease because these shades from the Bomb Burger palette really tend to blend into your stuff. At least when I was blending them together, it would totally change the color of the eyeshadow where the two shadows touch. So I want to do a low-key cut crease. Y'all tell me if this angle is shit because I have no idea. I'll tell when I'm editing. So the palette I did want to focus on today is the Alien Cosmetics Summer on Earth palette. I have yet to review this on the other channel, but I have been using it here lately. If you open it up, it has a mirror here, kind of just bending it back out of the way. It is a 9 pan. They are the 37mm, so it's not the 26, which you're normal seeing that in a 9 pan palette from other brands. There's 4 mattes in here, which are the shades Bitter, Slush, Cold Shoulder, and Gravity. Then you have 2 shimmer shades, which are Poolside and Skinny Dip. And then there are 3 glitter shades in the palette, which is Lemonade, ambient, and the $sign. When I first got this, I had no idea that they were pressed glitter pigments, and
I about lost my shit.
Because I thought it was, one, broken because it kind of like creased away from each other, but two, I was like, oh no, is this wet because it was raining the day that it got delivered? But no, that's just totally what it's supposed to be in the palette. We're going to start with the Sephora Pro 14, which is just like a little packing brush. We're going to take the shade Bitter and apply that to the inner corner, and taking it about 1/3 of the way into the lid. When I purchased this palette, I knew what shades were going to be glitter, but I honestly wish that Lemonade sometimes was just a regular like matte or shimmer instead of a glitter. I think it would have complemented the palette a lot more to be able to like really blend that in with the blues, just to create some other greens that you wouldn't see in the shade Bitter. There is a little bit of space that I can't get into like the deepest set of my crease, so I will be going in with a smaller precision brush just to make sure for the whole part of my cut crease that it is blended well. And I'll be using the Morphe E36. So the next shade I'll be digging into is Slush. I'll be using that same Sephora brush to pack it on. This one is one of the shimmer shades, and I'm just going to pack it over a little bit of Bitter and just leave the tiniest little like 1/5 of an eyelid for the outer corner color that I'll be dipping into here in a second. So like I said, this brush is great to pack on color, but it's definitely not the best blender. So I'm going to be taking a little bit more fluffier brush than I'm going to be taking the E18. Also Morphe as well, and just kind of marrying those two shades together. You have to be careful sometimes with purple and green because it will kind of make a muddy color, but as long as you're blending well enough, that won't happen. So I can't tell what it is that's going on. I think it's where my NYX white base is like kind of going away, but it's just not blending how I envisioned this. How am I going to save this?
6.5 hours later.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the third shade that I was gonna be using, which is Cold Shoulder, and we're gonna be applying that into the outer corner. I'm gonna just take the Sephora Pro with that as well. I'm just tapping that in. I'm gonna go back into my purple, the Slush color, until I figure this out.
3:28 a.m.
Okay, I tried to fix that off camera and I just can't. So what I have decided, instead of trying to conform this eyeshadow palette into what I want, I am just going to conform to it. So where I could clear patchiness, I definitely did. I packed on more color. I just don't know how else to save it, to be honest. It's totally reflective on me, not the palette whatsoever. My goal under the lash line was to blend my top 3 lid colors, but I am just afraid to do that. So I don't want to completely ruin this look. Kind of makes me upset that this is going to be the first thing that I'm putting out to you guys, but I think that it's important moment to learn, to grow, and also it's what reality is. I want to be as transparent as I can on my channels. I'm going to take the shade Cold Shoulder back on the E36 and just wisp that underneath the eye look right here. I'm going to be cleaning up my under eye with some concealer. This is the Super Stay Better Skin from Maybelline. I'm not going to clear this up super sharp because again, this is going to be a watercolor look. Sometimes it's so hard to motivate myself to like do things, and I honestly, when I went off camera to try to fix this look, I really just wanted to give up and cry, but that's not why I'm here. I want to be able to make mistakes on camera and not feel judged. So any winged eyeliner can make any look great. Bottom lash, my go-to for cream liners is the ColourPop gel liners, and this is in the shade Cross, and we're just gonna apply that, or attempt to apply that in the waterline. Kind of covered it up with eyeshadow, so it's really just kind of blending my eyeshadow out, giving like the nastiest color. You can definitely see it. It's more like a lime green because of the blue that's in my waterline right now, so I'm just gonna keep blending it until it's blended all the way across. But the opacity of these is really good, even if my eyes are trash. Top waterline, we're going to be taking also ColourPop Cream Gel, and this is in the shade, I swear, so cringy. Liner we're going to be using Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper. I still pick up this liner because it is super opaque, and the ColourPop BFF liners that just came out, they are not opaque. If you have any kind of powder on your eye, you just cannot get away from the fact that it looks like trash. It's not like liner matters a whole lot because we are going to cover this up with lashes, but just for shits, let's make it good. I've been filming for way too long and I need to wrap it up. I am going to go off camera to apply my lashes. Before I put on any lashes, I'm going to be bolding them up with the Tarte Maneater mascara. Okay, so for lashes, I'm going to be using the Pretty Weird Cosmetics 25mm lashes. Now the label says Hypnotic, but the actual name is Hypnotic, so don't judge us. Label makers are the death of everybody. Let's get them up close for you guys. So they are extremely long. Like, these are not your everyday go-to lashes. But yeah, I'm just gonna attempt to apply these off camera. If I come back with something different, I obviously failed, so I'll be right back. Here we are. I love these, and I thought I would not be able to do this. They feel amazing though. I could definitely shield out any oncoming sun whatsoever. Could you read my eyes for any kind of social cues? No. So we're just gonna finish up this look with a liquid lip. I normally always am picking up a liquid lip. That's my go-to. One of my favorite brands is Baby Bad Beauty. And this is in the shade Lotus Lace. Okay, so here's the look. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into close-ups for you now. So I hope I didn't drive you guys away with my sadness or my, oh God, just my everything, to be honest. Or these lashes, I could have accidentally like batted you away. I'm really excited that this is my first video to show to you guys, even though that eyeshadow really about made me have a panic attack. I love these lashes. I'm so glad that I picked up all of the set. If you are interested, they're always doing deals with Pretty Weird Cosmetics. So if you like these, or if you want to try something different, definitely go over to their shop and check it out. As far as the rest of the look, I'm glad with the way that it turned out. I definitely think my colors were there, but my blending skills were definitely a little bit sad. I appreciate you guys sticking through the end of this video. I know it was pretty long, but I wanted to do one that was kind of like a get to know me and kind of like a get ready with me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please hit subscribe before you leave if you feel like it. Ring the bell just so you can know when I'm uploading. Click out of the browser as quickly as possible. But if not, I would love to have you as a subscriber. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Bye!